A new slant on greed. Just what is this deadly sin called greed? Who would be so audacious, so contemptuous of common belief as to even question public consensus of greed? Well, it's simply that most people use words freely without ever being consciously aware of their meanings. I'll give you a repeated example. Someone will see an expensive luxury vehicle, say a Rolls-Royce Phantom, go by. Then, as if by a knee-jerk reaction, that person will think, greedy bastard. Now, think about Wall Street bankers and grab the first thought that comes to mind. What was it? Did you unconsciously mutter, fat cat banker? In other words, did you just pass judgment on someone you've never met and nail them with the label greedy? And who are these fat cat banksters anyway, that they should be so castigated by the self-righteous as greedy? All we're taught subconsciously is, since they're wealthy, they must have gotten their wealth by fraud or deception. Either way, the rich are greedy. How tragic an assumption. Greed has nothing to do with wealth. It has to do with one's appetite. A poor person greedy for food is a glutton. The greed is an excess of good judgment, for it leads to personal injury. In the Merriam-Webster dictionary, it defines greed as acquisitive or selfish desire beyond reason. Isn't good health a selfish desire? I use selfish in this regard as, quote, concerned with one's own welfare excessively. That's a dictionary definition again. If you were dying of cancer, would not excessive interest be rational? Who determines the degree of interest that you apply to save your own life? You do. No one else has that right but you. You are not someone else's servant or slave or property. It's your life, and it's the quality and quantity that's at stake. No one else's, yours. Rational self-interest cannot and should not ever be surrendered, especially to those who declare themselves your philosophical enemies. Do not surrender rational self-interest to misconceptions or prejudice, or to fears and ignorance of people who haven't a clue as to what and why they believe. Any attack on selfishness is an attack on personal survival and the quality of life. You see the same attacks on sports celebrities. The greed for success and greed to win. Anyone who engages in professional sports engages in excessive self-interest. Who is it that's qualified to judge? The spectator sitting in the stands? Those who never play the game? Who? Certainly every single man or woman who achieves greatly has been greedy for such an achievement. Every skinny child who seeks to develop his or her body can be attacked as greedy. Why? Because to the status quo, that's not considered normal. Success requires abandoning what the unsuccessful consider normal. When Napoleon Hill of Think and Grow Rich fame writes about a burning desire, that's greed in the eyes of the unsuccessful. The burning desire is a desire that becomes an obsession. Hill then cites Thomas Edison, Alexander Graham Bell, Luther Burbank, and Henry Ford as examples of men who gave us the greatest of inventions, yet were possessed by a burning desire, an obsession, a greed for success unknown by lesser people. Kevin Trudeau speaks about the truly wealthy in his course, Your Wish is Your Command, and says, they don't live, nor do they want, a normal life. They're so excited by their goals and their desire to achieve them that they think about them all the time. This is what you can identify as rational self-interest, or for the people who are of a more cynical bent, greed. Oh yes, if you don't want others to call you a greedy, selfish, rich bastard, you can always stay poor and hang out with the losers. Or you can choose to ignore their venomous judgments and take charge of your own life. Which might appeal to you the most? Why not join forces with success-minded souls like yourself and enjoy the life you were meant to live? It's a new slant on greed, isn't it? The view from the mountain, as I see it today. I'm Peter-Ragnar.
This has been a Roaring Lion Publishing production. Copy of this material strictly prohibited and all rights reserved. 2010. For more information, log online to roaringlionpublishing.com or call 800-491-7141.